only because of the money, not only because of the money they have to pay them, but also the industrial relations and the cost of recruitment. So it is in the short run, things are not just as far as you can see it seems to look like. Because one, in the short run, you have to think about, because we call it the short run because all factors are fixed. So which means we cannot alter them at that point in period of time. Then if you have to increase your output in the short run, it simply means you might not be able to buy equipment or labor, like I said earlier, but you can only increase the workload of your workers by allowing them to do more overtime. And if they are doing overtime, it means you have to pay them more. So you are going to incur cost in the short run. So incurring cost in the short run would mean that you have to increase the price of your products. Do you understand? Yes. Though you cannot increase it so much because it's in the short run and wage rate is fixed. So which means consumers might not be able to increase their wage rates too. Therefore, if you are increasing prices so high, it might affect the demand for your product. Do you understand the short run here? So, however, firms may have to increase the pay of workers, which means they have to increase the level of. Okay, so in the short run, simply, the aggregate supply curve in the short run there's a movement in the short run because price is going to increase. So because price is going to increase in the short run, there's going to be movement along the short run aggregate supply curve. So put it in mind that when we talk about short run, it affects price and the real output. Do you get my point here? Short run affects price and real output. And because it affects price and real output, it brings about movement along the short run aggregate supply curve. Are you with me? So the movement along the short run aggregate supply curve is represented as this. There's a movement along the short run aggregate supply curve. Because it's in the short run, it affects output and price. But price cannot be increased so high. It has to be just a small change in price, which means in the short run, the short run aggregate supply curve is price elastic in the short run. So if the real output is increasing from Y1 to Y2, it will bring about an increase in cost for firms, which is likely to be an increase in overtime payments. Then that will increase the price from P1 to P2. Is short run aggregate supply curve clear? Any questions about short run? So I wrote the analysis. A change in real output from Y1 to Y2 will bring about movement in the SRAS curve, which means price level will rise from P1 to P2. We talked about that. Firms will be faced with, I talked about, however, a small rise in price. So we want to understand that whatever happens in the short run, it is still fixed. Either a fall in price or a rise in price will always be price elastic, which simply means if a firm is increasing the price in the short run from P1 to P2, consumers might feel like, oh, we don't want to buy, because based on the law of demand, the higher the price, the lower the quantity demanded. So if consumers feel like they don't want to buy anymore because there's a change in price, firms might be forced to reduce the price from P2 to P1, which is still what? A small change. They cannot do more than that, because if they try to cut the price more than that P1, there's no way to do that because there's limit, because all factors are fixed. So there's no opportunity for firms to buy equipment or to increase the level of output, because if they have to,